Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. And once again, we do want to show you some video from the Iranian border with Azerbaijan as the search is now underway following a helicopter crash. The helicopter carrying the Iranian president as well as his foreign minister and other officials. And again, we are continuing to follow this. An official saying that both the lives of the Iranian president and his foreign minister were, quote, at risk following the helicopter crash, saying, quote, we are still hopeful, but information coming from the crash site is very concerning. We do want to bring in Michael Zantos, who is a foreign policy expert, to talk more about this breaking news. And Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome.
And again, information is still very scarce as this is a breaking news situation. But what can you share with us?
Well, it is obviously clearly in doubt whether the Iranian president and the foreign minister is still alive. And it's very easy to dismiss it because it's often pointed out that the power is really in the hands of the supreme leader of Iran, Khamenei, and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard and other security forces. But he was being groomed as a possible successor for the supreme leader of Iran, that is the ultimate leader of Iran, who's 85 and not necessarily in good health. And so there's a variety of potential effects of this, but one of them being that he was a possible successor to the current supreme leader of Iran.
So, again, details are very scarce, and we were hearing from an anonymous official saying that the president's life was at risk along with the foreign minister, but not going beyond that. If it were the case that the Iranian president was killed in this helicopter crash, what would the impact of that be?
I think it could actually be significant in some less than obvious ways. He was himself a very much a hardliner. So you see the hardliners, the extreme hardliners in Iran, unfortunately, consolidating power. But especially in a government that tries to take the name of God and say that it's divine wishes that they're acting on and that they're serving God behind it, I think this is discrediting. Because even in a government that is not extremely religious and fanatic, when you can't protect your leaders, it can happen, unfortunately, and it's scary to the best country, God forbid, even ours, that people do die in plane and helicopter crashes. But it could be seen by the Iranian people as one more sign of incompetence. It doesn't exactly go along with them always saying that God is on their side and that the U.S. and Israel are infidels. So I think it is actually discrediting. It might sound a little bit silly to say, but they are constantly and only speaking in religion. Their leadership only claims legitimacy, it sounds bizarre in today's world, 21st century, based on religion alone. And they claim that they will win because of their religious beliefs and that the United States and the West is evil. So I think it's discrediting. And in the less kind of theoretical concept, it doesn't reflect the competence of this country, this government, the system that is running out of water. Can't keep things cool as they have hotter and hotter summers. They barely have electricity. They're one of the largest producers of oil and natural gas. And the average Iranian can't afford gasoline and is struggling to buy food for his or her family. So I think this crash is discrediting and makes the doubts in this regime grow within the country.
And again, this information coming from the state-run media, when it comes to being transparent, when might we expect additional details and just how accurate might they be?
It's hard to say, but you can't cover up if they did in fact die. It's good that we're being careful about it. You can't cover up the death of the president and foreign minister. I think that, in the next 24 hours and probably much less, we'll start to gain clarity. They can't hide this. Now, it's worth mentioning that another high-ranking official of Iran back in 2017, Rafsanjani, who used to be central in the regime, died of a heart attack at the age of 82, and suspicions were raised about foul play, and the fingers by his own family seem to be pointing at the regime itself. So there's even a possibility, somewhat remote, but not far-fetched, that this could have been some sort of assassination attempt if they survive, or assassination if they died. There could even be an element of foul play. There are definitely going to be suspicions, some legitimate and some crazy, in such a paranoid country, because they have a murderous government. Remember, this president had the nickname of the Butcher of Tehran for the number, probably in the thousands, of executions he oversaw at the end of the 1980s. He was known, or still is known, as the Butcher of Tehran. So in that kind of environment, there's all kinds of suspicions that inevitably will occur, some well-based and some unfounded.
Now, according to Reuters, they're quoting the Interior Minister saying that the state TV that only one of the helicopters in a group of 3 had come down hard, and that authorities were waiting further details. When you're talking about that one of 3 helicopters was the only one that came down hard, again, we did see a video that appeared to show very foggy conditions, and talking about, again, the conspiracy theories out there. Do you extrapolate anything from that statement, or again, is this really just more of a wait and see situation?
It's going to be largely a wait and see. If one of 3 helicopters in a convoy go down, it's a question of who was on it. Was the president and the foreign minister on the same helicopter? Are they down? They can't locate the helicopter, which would be concerning, although it's hard to feel bad for a president who's known as the Butcher of Baghdad and whose regime is responsible for the death of so many American soldiers and civilians around the world, because Iran, the largest state, sponsor terrorism. But they don't seem to be able to locate, as far as any reports that reached here, the president or foreign minister. You would think that there's communication, there has to be communication on the intact helicopters. You would think normally with the president that there would be backup communication, but he's not necessarily, unlike this country, part of the military command and control. And he can sometimes even be almost relegated, not according to the Constitution, but in effect, almost relegated to civilian, to like a figurehead, if the supreme leader, Khamenei, chooses, because so much power is amassed in that supreme leader, who's very, very aging. So it is strange, even in foggy conditions, that they can't see, and would be troubling if you care about their health. And it's hard to, given the amount of deaths around the region, Arab, Israeli, American, British, et cetera, linked to that regime. But it's strange that they're not able to locate or confirm that they're alive even. That is strange. And that makes me doubt that they're still alive or they're in at all good condition.
And let's talk about Iran's role in the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. We have seen recently Iran growing bolder in their attacks, typically, as you know, they use proxies. Could this incident impact that strategy at all?
Yes, I really do think this is kind of discrediting. They had a massive strike against Israel, which was entirely a dud. There does appear to have been a few ballistic missiles that did reach and cause some limited damage to one Israeli Air Force base. But I suspect that's because Israel's exo-atmospheric interceptor, the Arrow 3, is the newest and intercepts in outer space. There's actually video of an explosion in outer space from it, and it's probably very limited coverage. And they probably figured with this Air Force base, they could just fly the planes off in the 8 minutes it would take a ballistic missile to hit, or Israel may have hardened shelters able to resist anything but a nuclear explosion. And even there, they probably have contingencies. So, and I think that obviously the coverage will be extended. You have hundreds of projectiles fired at Israel, and virtually all of them intercepted. Very much a dud, embarrassing to Iran. Iran appears to have covered up that Israeli air-launched cruise missiles destroyed the air defense of one of their major nuclear sites, as a huge warning that Israel has the ability to strike with accuracy and impunity anywhere in Iran. So this is discrediting. And the fact that they cannot even protect their president and foreign minister, and despite the fact that their powers are limited and they're not always aware of everything, it is very discrediting. They can't even protect their leaders. It's going to raise doubts. Did somebody within the regime murder them. As the power struggle grows with a potential succession, they're of course going to accuse Israel, because they accuse Israel and the United States of everything, or that's very likely, unless it's just an obvious accident that they have to confess up to. And these are men with an incredible blood. The president of Iran is the Butcher of Baghdad. There's a lot of people in Iran who despise this government, including the president, or perhaps the former president of Iran.
Michael Zanto, foreign policy expert, thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox to really break down this breaking news. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Have a great weekend.
You too.